Other than the incoherent gibberish that Donald Trump spews at his traveling fascist circus events that he calls rallies, and other than the hate where he calls for things like the reinstatement of the 1798 Alien Enemies Act, one of the things he just talks about over and over again, really the only other thing, is he says that he was shot in the ear and took a bullet for the country. But he's never produced medical record showing that his ear was actually shot. We know there was a serious incident at Butler, Pennsylvania, and we take that very seriously here at the MeidasTouch Network. We condemn political violence in all of its forms and machinations. We also believe that if you're running for the highest office in the land like Donald Trump is, you should release your medical records to the public, especially if you're claiming that an AR-15 bullet hit your ear, but you are a magical healer, so all of a sudden, like a miracle, it went away. Especially where you're Donald Trump and the MAGA movement and you want to take away women's reproductive rights and also get access to their medical records and seize it so that you could cause grievous harm to women. I think you should maybe release your medical records. There was an incident, though, in the past few days. I'm sure you heard about Donald Trump's interview with Joe Rogan, but there's a point in that interview that's worth reflecting on in detail for its broader implications. You may have seen these memes right here, where during the interview, Joe Rogan asked Donald Trump to look at where the bullet hit his ear. Now, Joe Rogan's familiar with UFC. He's familiar with ear injuries. So he's seen a lot when it comes to ear injuries. Here are some of the memes right here. Trump shows Rogan his massive ear wound. Or here's another one. Miracle ear cream only $999.99. Here's another meme. This is Joe Rogan realizing, well, that's a meme right there. I don't think... My own view was that it was a serious incident that needs to be taken very seriously. But then Donald Trump turned it into a way to profit off of it. And he started selling Assassination Edition sneakers, Assassination Edition Pinot Noir, Assassination Edition coins. And he turned this, serious matter into a ghoulish monetization stunt. So let me show you this. Here's the moment where Donald Trump and Joe Rogan are talking. And Joe Rogan says, "Can I see where you were injured? Watch what goes down." Play the clip.
He was a nice
Once
guy.
they shot you, I was like, he's got to come in here. It's all about timing. It's all about the timing.
Timing's
I think
good.
our timing's perfect. Do you even have a scar on your ear? You got anything on there?
I do.
Let me say. What do you got
So, right over here.
there? Oh, it's a tiny little
See,
mark.
it zicked right there.
Yeah. It healed up pretty fucking good.
Well, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's little.
And then further in the interview as well, Joe Rogan asked Donald Trump a very basic question. What was it like being in the Oval Office the first day? Pretty simple question, but you'll see Donald Trump responds by talking about the amount of blood that came out of his ear. Trump says this is the weave, where he can't put forward coherent thoughts. So he just says a bunch of things all at the same time. Watch what Donald Trump does here and watch how Joe Rogan's like, what are you even talking about? Here, play this clip.
When you're running for president, you don't really know what it's going to be like when you actually get into office. What did you think
So
it was going to be
in
like?
office or when I decided to run? So
No, when you got in.
when I was
you
in.
got
So
in.
when I was in and won and was in the White House, essentially.
Yes.
Well, first of all, it was very surreal.
I would
You know,
imagine.
it's very interesting. When I got shot, it wasn't surreal. That should have been surreal. When I was laying on the ground, I knew exactly what was going on. I knew exactly where I was hit. They were saying you were hit all over the place because there was so much blood from the ear. You would know that better than anyone. When they get the ear torn up,
Ears bleed a lot,
they
yeah.
bleed. Anyway, so and I was thinking the other day, when that happened, I really knew where I was. I knew exactly what happened. I said I wasn't hit anywhere else. With the presidency, it was a very surreal experience, okay?
Like, what's day one like? You
So-
win,
yeah,
you get inaugurated,
so-
holy shit, I'm the president.
So I think this is a more fundamental point that needs to be addressed. And we've done lots of videos about Donald Trump, and I take this seriously because it should be a serious issue. And I didn't present it in a mocking way. We've seen speeches now where Donald Trump appears to have defecated on himself on stage or relieving himself on stage. We see that Donald Trump can't put forward coherent sentences and thoughts. He presents with dementia-like symptoms, really serious dementia-like symptoms, Alzheimer's-like symptoms. You can see it. You know, there are times where he's giving a speech and he asks to listen to music and he just bobs his head for 40 minutes while people in the audience are suffering because there's no air conditioning and they're screaming, medic, medic, medic. So we should reflect on all of this. Like when Donald Trump goes on stage, let's talk about what he's been saying about his ear and the Butler, Pennsylvania incident. So a month or two ago, he was asked about it, and he said it hit him in the lobe, but he's a fast healer, and it miraculously healed. Here, play this clip.
Yeah, pretty much recovered, yeah. I'm a fast healer. It's a hell of a shot, but I'm a fast healer. Yeah, pretty much recovered.
Do you have any hearing damage from it?
No, it didn't hit that. I got very lucky. It just hit the lobe, as they call it.
Is there a scar on your ear?
Yeah, a little bit, not much. On top. A little.
But how is he weaponizing this? How is he using this? Well, now what he and all of the MAGA Republicans say is they pretend that the shooter was somehow liberals or Democrats and that they went after him. We know the shooter is a white male, 20s, lived in Pennsylvania, MAGA supporter, MAGA signs. People in high school said that he was a MAGA guy. That was the shooter in Butler, Pennsylvania. There was a second incident where there was no shooting that actually took place. The Secret Service got to this guy before. Trump wasn't even in the guy's line of sight at a Florida golf course. That the Secret Service previously told Donald Trump, you can't play at this course. You're making yourself a target, so don't play at the course. But there we learned that guy was a Trump voter in 2016 and recently was a supporter of people like Vivek Ramaswamy and Tulsi Gabbard and people like that. But now they go around at that weird Madison Square Garden Nazi-like event and they say, and this is what J.D. Vance says, all the speakers said the same thing. They tried to kill him. They even tried to. Who's the they in this? The they. It makes you think. Here's J.D. Vance saying it.
Tried to bankrupt him. When that didn't work, they tried to impeach him. When that didn't work, they tried to put him in federal prison, and when that didn't work, they even tried to kill him. But as sure as the American flag still waves, Donald Trump still stands, ready to fight, ready to win, and ready to make America great again. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Let's do it.
Now, here's Rudy Giuliani saying it. Play the clip.
Now, I don't know. I'm not going to do conspiracy, and I'm not going to do conspiracy. But it's kind of funny that they tried everything else, and now they're trying to kill him. They better not. Try again.
Here's Donald Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, saying it. Play the clip.
In 9 days, it's your turn to cast a vote for the man who's been in the trenches with you, the man who gets back up every time they try and knock him down. They thought they could break us. They thought they could scare us. They thought they could jail us, and they thought they could kill him. But they don't know. What doesn't break you makes you stronger.
Let's talk about the industry, the business that Donald Trump has made to profit off of these purported assassination attempts, or the assassination attempts where he's clearly exaggerating the injury. I think that's undisputed. If you're hit with a AR-15 bullet in your ear explodes. Okay, it's a big bullet. Well, the ear would fall off. If you were hit with an AR-15 bullet, you wouldn't just miraculously heal. And Donald Trump doesn't know what a lobe is. Let's be clear. But here's what he's selling. Just so you know, oh, well, Ben, you're saying he's selling sneakers? Well, yeah, here's the Assassination Edition sneakers that he's actually selling. This is at TrumpSneakers.com. He's selling these for $299. There's other versions of this for $500. Assassination Edition sneakers. Here's the Assassination Edition Pinot Noir. Assassination Edition Bulletproof .308 caliber whiskey glass mugs or shot glasses. the coins that he's selling, different types of coins, the assassination edition coins. But remember, even in 2015, when Donald Trump purported to release medical records, he released them from, of all types of doctors, a gastroenterologist by the name of Harold Bornstein, a gastro doctor that would deal with issues like Trump defecating on himself and relieving himself. But what it says is, I can unequivocally state that Donald Trump will be the healthiest person ever elected to the presidency, which we know is a ridiculous thing for anybody to say. Harold Bornstein later said that he actually didn't write the doctor's note, that Donald Trump wrote the note for him and signed Harold Bornstein, and Bornstein let Donald Trump get along with it. Harold Bornstein's no longer alive. He passed away under somewhat mysterious circumstances in 2021, but in 2018, Harold Bornstein went on MSNBC and said that Donald Trump had sent his bodyguard, Keith Schiller, to go and seize the medical records belonging to Trump from Bornstein's office. Bornstein describes it as Trump sent his thugs into my office and they took forcibly Trump's medical records from my office. Here's Bornstein explaining it in 2018. Play the clip.
What exactly were they looking for?
All his medical records, his pictures, anything they could find. We must have been here for 25 to 30 minutes. We created a lot of chaos. I couldn't believe anybody was making a big deal about a drug that's to grow his hair, which seemed to be so important. And it certainly is not a breach of medical trust to tell somebody they take Propecia to grow their hair. What's the matter with that?
Finally, that brings me to a very important point that I want to make. I think it's important that we hear from and see from Donald Trump's own appointed FBI director, Christopher Wray. Christopher Wray was appointed by Donald Trump. Donald Trump had previously said that Christopher Wray is someone with impeccable credentials. He appointed Christopher Wray. Christopher Wray's been a Republican his entire life, okay? He's now still the FBI director. So there was a recent hearing, and Christopher Wray was asked about the shooting in Butler, Pennsylvania. And Christopher Wray says it's not clear that Trump was shot in the ear. Whether it was shrapnel or something else that hit his ear or something, it's not clear. Here's what Christopher Wray said.
I think with respect to former President Trump, there's some question about whether or not it's a bullet or shrapnel that that hit his ear. So it's conceivable. Although, as I sit here right now, I don't know whether that bullet, in addition to causing the grazing, could have also landed somewhere else. But I believe we've accounted for all of the shots in the cartridges. So let us.
Okay, so that's coming from Trump's own FBI director, a Republican. So how did Donald Trump respond to that? He reposts Tucker Carlson saying Christopher Wray is a liar and a criminal, and I hope that he is reading this. He's calling his own FBI director a liar and a criminal, and he's reposting it through Tucker Carlson to try to say, well, all I was doing was reposting Tucker Carlson. One of the other things that Donald Trump posted was a meme that basically says that Christopher Wray was in on the assassination attempt, that Christopher Wray was involved in doing it. It's one of the conspiracies Trump is spreading because he goes, when did you know and what did you know and when did you know about it? Read Truth if you want to know who was ordering the assassination attempt. And it has Christopher Wray's photo. So Trump is implicating his own former FBI director, saying that that's who was involved in the assassination attempt. I mean, just think about that. It's not unique to that, though. You then have all of Donald Trump's MAGA people in the House of Representatives, like Harriet Hageman. She's the one who took over the seat of Liz Cheney as the Republican Party went full MAGA. And she attacks Christopher Wray at all of these hearings. And again, Christopher Wray's a Republican, lifelong Republican, appointed by Trump. Watch this exchange. Let's play it.
Mr. Wray, from the Twitter files, Missouri versus Biden disclosures, the Durham investigation and report, and exposure and collapse of the Russian collusion hoax, the American people fully understand that there is a two-tier justice system that has been weaponized to persecute people based on their political beliefs, and that you have personally worked to weaponize the FBI against conservatives. I asked Mr. Durham about this, to which he answered, I don't think that things can go too much further with the view that law enforcement, particularly the FBI or Department of Justice, runs a two-tiered system of justice. The nation can't stand under those circumstances. Director Wray, what are you prepared to do to reform federal law enforcement in a manner which earns back the trust of the American people?
Well, first off, I would disagree with your characterization of the FBI and certainly your description of my own approach. The idea that I'm biased against conservatives seems somewhat insane to me, given my own personal background. As to how we are approaching our work of protecting the American people and upholding the Constitution, it starts with me having emphasized to all of our folks over and over and over again in everything we do that we need to do the right thing in the right way, and that means following the facts wherever they lead, no matter who likes it.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's now one of the main leaders in the Republican Party that's been taken over by MAGA. Here's what she has to say.
Were you aware of this?
Congresswoman, as I said, I haven't seen the photos that you're holding up before.
Maybe, well, I posted them on my Twitter account. It's public. You know, maybe
I don't
you guys
spend a lot of time on Twitter.
Well, you know, oh, I'm sure you do, because the Department of Homeland Security, organized with other offices, has censored many Americans, including myself.
I'm not part of the Department of Homeland Security.
Right, Mr. Wray, you should be interested in investigating terrorism, and this.
And here is Victoria Spars, a MAGA congresswoman as well. Here's her interaction with Christopher Wray.
You started out as an AUSA, and I'm getting this information from Wikipedia, the great font of knowledge in the digital age, and so I'm assuming that it's true, but you started out as an AUSA. You were nominated by Republican President Bush for the position of Assistant Attorney General in the Criminal Division at the Department of Justice, and you were confirmed by a Republican Senate, if I am correct in that.
Yes, by unanimous voice vote.
And you were then nominated by Republican President Donald Trump to be the FBI director, and again confirmed by the Republican Senate for that position.
Yes, I think there were only 5 votes against me, and they were all from Democrats.
According to Wikipedia, you're still a registered Republican, and I hope you don't change your party affiliation after this hearing is over. But I want to thank you. So
I wanted to show you right there that this is deep-seated, that it's not just Trump. You have the entire MAGA universe right there who's pushing this. And we'll end the video right there. As you hear, my little baby girl is crying, so I got to go on daddy duty. But I include us all as the Meidas Mighty family in this, so you get to hear it. So I got to run. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.